Welcome to Books and Besties, the virtual book fair. Share this link with others and get ready for something awesome. Books and Besties, the virtual book fair.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, whatever time zone it is for you. Welcome to today's episode of Books and Besties. I am struggling with my microphone just a little bit, so we're gonna rebuke all that technical issue, and it is not going to affect the rest of the show. I'm claiming it in the name of Jesus. Anyway, I am the Queen Bee, Dr. Angie B. I'm your co-host today, and it is cold in North Florida. There is a freeze watch for Jacksonville, and I am bundled up. I'm going to remain bundled up as long as there is a freeze watch. So hopefully it's warmer where you are, or at least you're accustomed to the cold weather. We Floridians, we ain't too crazy about it. So Books and Besties is our weekly show that features entrepreneurs, community leaders, ministry leaders, and fellow authors. And we strive to bring you an eclectic collection of guests, and today we've got some wonderful guests lined up for you today. So before we get started with them, I want to bring in my co-host and associate producer, author Avalon S. Brown. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, we staying warm today.
Yeah. Like she said, some of us is accustomed. So it's a warm 33 degrees here with a little light snow.
30. Whew. Okay. I love you. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, but he ain't strengthened me for that kind of weather. He decided to do something a little bit different. So what you been up to this week, girl?
Well, finally, I finished the last two grandchildren books, the last two youngest ones, the 5-year-old and the 2-year-old. I finally finished their books. So that's all the grandchildren. So I'm going to start focusing on the nursing. And just as I said that, my son, he's starting to teach his daughter how to play the guitar because he plays the electric guitar. So now he was asking me, can you write a book about a father that's teaching their daughter how to play the guitar? So I got to get that done now.
That is so cool, Avalon. That is so cool. I'm so proud of the legacy that you're leaving by adding this collection of books that are about your children and your grandchildren. That is such a sweet concept. So sweet. I may have to write something about my niece.
Yeah.
You encourage me to write something.
I'm sure it's going to spark up the other two grandchildren, the one that's 14 and 12, because the one that's playing the guitar, she's 12. So, of course, they're going to want a second book, too. I'm pretty sure once they see it.
Yeah, yep. And you're self-publishing all of your books, correct?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
How is that process compared to getting a publisher or paying a publisher? What's your experience been?
Well, I've saved a whole lot of money
Mhm.
And once I looked into the type of publishing companies that I was dealing with, I found out that they're doing the same thing pretty much what I'm doing with self publishing. My thing is, I just have to make sure I have an editor on board, which I do, thanks to Angie B. But,
Yeah.
with the children books, you don't have to write a whole lot on, because I do a page of words, maybe one sentence or two, and then a picture to go with my sentences. So but my regular books, I'm working on some of those, usually need to go through an editor. So for me, now that I have learned the process, it's not
Mhm.
hard. I can kind of whip through it, and now I can help others. Working with Angie, we help others publish their books too. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tell us about the latest book that you're helping. I know you're working with a gentleman and he's getting his book ready. Tell us about that process.
Yes. So that book is a very good. Now, working with him was a little different from what I normally do because he's up there in age. So I pretty much we did Zoom sessions where we went chapter by chapter writing the book and helping him. He had written it, but he needed to put it in order. So I would have Zoom sessions with him, and he would share his manuscript on the screen, and we would go line by line, helping him remember stuff to put it in order. Yes. So we finally finished that last week.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes.
That's good. I know there are alternate ways to get your story out. I know some people they will hire us, Angie B Productions, they'll hire us to dictate their story. They'll tell their
Right.
story to one of our team members, and then she will transcribe it. She's a former court reporter, so
Mm-hmm.
it's right up her alley. And I know some people are using AI assistants to talk and get
Transcribe.
their
Yes.
books written. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in every case, you always need a good editor, like you
Mm-hmm.
said. You definitely do, because AI is only as good as we make it. And
Right.
right now, we're not making closed captions are, even on TV, closed captions, sometimes they miss it, they mess up. So
Mm-hmm.
we always need somebody with a dedicated
To
eye to,
proofread. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, I know that we've had a couple of guests in the past that are now supporting the show. The very first one is Dr. Doretha Smith. So I want to introduce you to her latest commercial, and then we'll get ready to welcome David Shabazz. He is waiting in the wings for us. So, yeah, here's a little bit of information about Dr. Doretha Smith. Chosen, the Lord God with a master plan. Dr. Doretha Smith's book has an inspiring message of faith, purpose, and divine guidance through heartfelt reflections and spiritual insight. She reminds readers that God's plan is always perfect, even when life feels uncertain. This book is a call to trust in His timing, follow His directions, and embrace the unique calling He has placed upon your life. With wisdom grounded in scripture and personal testimony, Dr. Smith empowers you to step boldly into your God-given destiny, knowing you have been divinely chosen for a purpose greater than yourself. Divinely Chosen, the Lord God with the Master Plan, written by Dr. Doretha Smith. Search for Divinely Chosen Lord Master Plan on Amazon. And don't forget to leave a review. Yep,
Yeah.
that's Dr. Smith's new book, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it, and so I'm glad that we're introducing her book project to our audience.
Yes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right. Tell us about David L. Shabazz, and then we'll bring him on in.
Yes, David Shabazz is an accomplished author, scholar, and cultural historian with a passion for uncovering the untold stories of an African American achievement. His latest book, Pro Wrestling's Black World Champion, third edition, is a groundbreaking work that documents and celebrates the rich, often overlooked legacy of Black wrestlers who broke barriers and claimed the highest honors in professional wrestling. Dr. Shabazz is a former newspaper reporter and a radio newscaster. He is a dean of the College of Arts and Science at Kentucky State University and holds the ranks of Associate Professor of Communication. He teaches introductory journalism courses in radio, podcasting, and photography. He was named Educator of the Year in 2019 from the Kentucky Communication Association and Broadcast Advisor of the Year in 2020 from the College Media Association. Dr. Shabazz has won awards for his newspaper columns from the Society of Professional Journalism and script writing from the Broadcast Education Association. His research interests are African American communication, sports communication, and popular culture. Let's welcome
Wow.
Dr. Shabazz.
Ah, welcome, welcome, welcome to the show.
Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Yes,
Dr. V and Sister Brown. I'm glad to be here.
yes, we're
Wonderful.
glad to have you. Okay, tell
Mhm.
us a little bit about Dr. Shabazz that I
Well,
haven't read. Let's,
yeah, I mean, that bio was on point. It pretty much covered everything. I've been a newspaper reporter. I was a radio news announcer, and this started when I was in college. And I'm a journalism professor now at Kentucky State University. I don't teach as much since I've become a dean. I'm more of an administrator these days. But when I had my classes, I would always tell the students um, to work hard and to pursue their goals right now. And I always try my best to place them in internships because it was very valuable to me. I started working when I was a junior in college, and I became the news director at a radio station my senior year. I was fortunate. I was an intern, and it turned into a job for me because a new company had bought them out, and they basically fired a lot of people who were there, and so they kept one person, and he brought in a new staff. And since I was there doing the news as the intern, he made me the director. So I mean, you just have to be in the right place at the right time sometimes, and
Yeah,
that's taking advantage of those opportunities.
uh,
definitely, definitely.
so tell us about the pro wrestling and why you wrote this book.
Yes, Pro Wrestling's Black World Champions. Um, Try to make a long story short, my brother Julian really started writing about Black wrestlers in 1999. He wrote Black Stars of Professional Wrestling. And at that time, there were no books on Black professional wrestlers at all. Maybe one or two. I mean, there were some newspaper articles like that, but that's about it. My brother, when he passed in 2020, he had wrote a small ebook called Black Stars of Pro Wrestling's Black World Champions. And it came from an article that he was commissioned to write from a magazine. And he turned that into an ebook. And going through his things, when I found that, I was like, okay, this would be a good way to, pay some respect, pay some homage to my brother. And especially since there had been a few more, he put the original ebook out in 2009. And so there were about 13 people in that book, and only like 9 of them were really, I hate to say bona fide champions, but there was some asterisk with with a couple of them. So and some more African Americans and Black people have won the belt, because the book also includes, you know, some Blacks from Ghana and Jamaica, and other places in Canada. So it's not just the African Americans, Black people throughout the diaspora. And so that's really where it came about, because more Black people have won the world heavyweight title. That gave me a lot more to write about, and this one is kind of my own.
Oh wow.
Nice,
That is
nice.
fascinating. I just assumed you were a wrestler.
Me
And
too.
People do think that too. You know, I'm a pretty big guy, so they think I am a wrestler, but I'm not.
my goodness, just to put pen to paper to something that it's like you're continuing that legacy that was started, you know, and to do that is admirable, very admirable.
Yes, yes, thank you. And so not only does it pay tribute to my brother, the whole point of the book is to highlight those achievements of those Black wrestlers who rose to the top. Many people know that I think, you know, the cat's out of the bag now that professional wrestling is scripted. So you know, it's not a true competition in the sense. So it takes a lot to be champion. It
Does.
really highlights our struggle. As you all
Wow.
know, we had to be better than best, because they're not
Yeah.
just looking at your skill in the ring. They're looking at you as a person, how you handle yourself and carry yourself in the public. Can we put the belt on this person and make them our champion? So, you know, we had to go through the tough litmus test in order to become champion. And that's what makes this book so significant.
Wow. But was your brother into wrestling?
Yes, my whole family was. We grew up as kids watching pro wrestling. You know, when your mom and dad, grandma, everybody is watching wrestling, it's on. So, you know, we grew up watching it.
Wow.
Fascinating.
Fascinating.
I've just in the past year started paying attention to wrestling because my daughter and son-in-law watch it, and it's like I know that it's scripted, but it still looks painful. How do they not get hurt?
You know, it is. And many times they do get hurt, because one of the biggest issues that they have is that, and they have to, you know, they never retire in that business. They never truly retire. And one reason is because there is no retirement. There is no insurance, because they do get hurt. Insurance companies, it would be so sky high for them to have insurance on themselves, because people, you know, especially if you hit a person right there in front of the audience, you can't fake that. You've got to hit that person. And, you know, and sometimes the person actually gets hurt. Many times, actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That is amazing. Listen, I want to put your contact information on the screen. What do you prefer, an email address or a website?
My website, davidlshabazz.com, and from there, my socials are there: Instagram, X, Facebook. They're all linked from my website. And you can put my email address on there as well. That's fine if anybody wants to contact me.
I got it. davidlshabazz.com.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So my interest was piqued because you have a background in radio, and so do I. So tell us a little bit about that aspect of your life.
You know, that was the job that I had in college, and radio was always something that I enjoyed. And the radio classes, I guess, is kind of why when I do teach the podcasting classes, because podcasting is really sort of similar to radio, especially the talk radio. in that role of the news person, I was really more of a news reporter. I was out gathering news and interviewing people, and I had the morning drive, and so that's why it's really not a problem for me to get up now. I know it's tough for college kids, but I mean, I had to. I went to Benedict College for my undergrad in South Carolina. I'm from South Carolina. And so the radio station WKWQ Hot 95 was in Batesburg, Leesville. So I had to be up at 4 o'clock every day to get there for the 5 a.m. broadcast. So as a college student, I was SGA president. I was on the radio in the morning, 4 hours a day. Still finished with a 3.5 the second semester. I made a 4.0 the first one. And
Nice, yes.
so I think that was great for the workload that I had. And it was just that passionate drive. But yeah, I didn't spin records or anything like that. It was just, I was basically being the news director and the news reporter.
Good for you. Good for
Yeah.
you. Tell
So
us.
this is what you, I'm sorry, go ahead, Andrew.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You're good.
No. I was just going to ask them. So this is what you're teaching now? Well, you say you're still just being in administration, or do you still do a little teaching on the side?
I teach every now and then. I'm mostly an administrator. I teach like one class every now and then. It'll usually be a podcasting or the photography class. I have taught some introductory classes, just going over basic AP style, getting students to understand, the writing style of a journalist. But that's really about all.
What advice would you have for someone who wants to write a book like you did? I mean, you're not a wrestler, but you're writing about it. Most folks that I know write about what they've been through, their tragedies or whatnot. So if someone's watching and they're thinking, hey, I really like baseball or basketball and I want to write a book about it, what advice would you have for them?
Know the craft, and study it, because it takes a lot of research, because there are experts out there who really know the field and then know what you're talking about. And, unless it's a first person account where you're just detailing your lived experience, nobody can really question your lived experience, because that's your lived experience.
Right.
But it still kind of needs to be rooted in the art, the field itself. And that is, you need to use the language of that particular field. Let people know that you actually know what you're talking about. But definitely go for it. I'm self-published. I'm working. I can't really say too much, but I'm working with a professional wrestler right now, and we're working with a major publisher. And so that, and I know you all were talking about that earlier, and that is a lot different. It's good in a sense, because it really relates to a lot of what I have to do at the college when you're writing proposals and writing grants. And those are the kinds of things that you have to do. You can't just sit down and write it when you're writing, because you're trying to sell this to a major publishing company. They don't know what's in your mind. They don't know your ideas. So you're going to have to write out that proposal. And that's really good for even a self-published author. What are your chapters? Who is your audience? Who are you trying to sell this to? What are you trying to do? What's your competition in the field? Where do you plan to market it at? Those are all of the kinds of things that everybody should do, whether you're published by a major author publication or self-publishing.
Right.
You're right about that.
I learned that.
Right.
I learned that, how to do the query letter and the book proposal. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm working on that now.
Right, right.
Wonderful news. So
Yeah.
tell us some more about your family. We know about your brother. Tell us some more about the rest of your family.
Um, I grew up two-parent home. I was and it's a shame you kind of have to say something like
Say
that.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
But I did. My mom and dad were there. I had a very good upbringing. My mother was a school teacher, public school teacher, which is probably why um, I'm a professor these days. My brother was also a college professor at one point too. Um, my dad was he would call himself a carpenter by trade. He was just he could build anything with his hands. I mean, so
Mm,
he was my hero. He could lay bricks. I mean, and other masons and carpenters bragged about the kind of work that he did. I mean, and these were other people in the field who knew it. And so I kind of hate that I didn't have a chance to really get that skill from him before he passed, because mom wanted us to go to college. She didn't want us working menial jobs. So, you know, mom won. So we had to go to college, and which is a wonderful thing too. I mean, I'm really fortunate for that, to get out of um, small town South Carolina, where you basically, if you weren't an athlete, because everybody played ball, but you had to be an athlete to get out of there. And I believe things have changed now, and I don't want to go down a negative road here, but there were administrators at our high school who basically did not push
mm,
Americans.
yes.
They
Yes.
wanted you to win while you were playing for them, but they
Right.
did not help you go on to college or go on to a career
Right.
anywhere else. They just let you go to work in the cotton mill, and that was it for you. All of
Mm,
this great talent, they did not help anyone at all. And I hope the people there now are really helping the kids. But you know, again, we were able to get out because I had a mother who was a school teacher, and then she was going to make sure that we get to college. Unlike, you know, a lot of people who don't have parents who went to college, they don't know how to fill out the applications and how to
right.
get their children into
Mhm.
college.
Right.
Um, so I'm definitely, you know, I feel blessed on that end, because I had a parent who went herself. My mom was a first generation college student, so she understood the trials and the pitfalls and everything I had to go through. Benedict College was where she went, and so she knew that she could get us into the college that she went to. I don't think she really thought that her um, my brother passed before he finished his doctoral degree.
Mm, mm,
Uh, I was a little disappointed. I won't say their names, so, but I was a little disappointed that they did not go ahead and grant him the
mhm,
degree, because that wasn't his
Mhm.
fault. He's there, he's working on it. It wasn't like he had just started the program. He was working on his
mm.
dissertation. Uh,
Wow.
so we both have well, I have a doctorate degree, and he was almost about to complete his. So
Mhm,
yeah,
mhm, mhm.
Wow.
that's me.
Nice. Mhm.
That that's important to know, because
Yes. Yes.
you're right. It's a rarity to be able to say you had two parents in the household. It's a rarity, but it is very encouraging. Um,
Hmm.
and you know, I know that some parents stay together for the sake of the kids, and some parents sacrifice to be able to send their kids to college, and it I even unfortunately have a young man in my life who feels like he's not mature enough to go to college, and
Mm.
attending college helps you become mature, and so I hope he's watching today so he can be encouraged that You know, whether you got one parent, two parents, zero parents, college is still, even if you just go 1 year, it opens up your mind to
Mhm.
so many more possibilities than high school did. And so that is my prayer for that young man. That's my prayer for him.
Yeah.
And I thank you for that.
And you can give him my email and have him contact me, and I'll do whatever I can to help him get into a college. I'd love for him to come to Kentucky State, but any college that he wants to get into, that's fine, and I'll do everything I can to show him the ropes and how to get in.
Hey, amen.
Yes. Amen.
Amen.
Yes.
Praise the Lord.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Mhm.
you. Well, listen, it is the bottom of our first hour, so we got to play just a couple of little videos. I'm going to put you backstage and then bring you back in and as soon as we get finished, Brother David. Yep. Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So we talk about our individual books, but we've also been publishing anthologies. So this is information about our next anthology. We're going to have to get Brother David involved with this one. I've had wives and I've had friends. We'll be right back, everybody. Had wives and I've had friends. An anthology for women written by the men we are trying to love. Gentlemen, you are cordially invited to become an author by sharing your thoughts and experiences in our anthology. Tell us about your love for sports. Tell us about your love for grooming. Tell us about your love for gaming. Tell us what you want us to know. Submit your bio, headshot, and your story, along with the submission fee of $250. Send it to author Avalon Brown 165 at yahoo.com, or you may send your info to angiebpresents at gmail.com. An anthology for women written by the men we are trying to love. I've had wives and I've had friends. Brought to you by author Avalon S. Brown and me, the Queen Bee, Dr. Angie B.
Wake up and turn your Saturday all the way up with Mornings with Angie B. Every Saturday from 8 to 10 a.m. Angie B is bringing you the hottest and newest Christian hip-hop music with a message, beats that bless, and vibes that lift your spirit. Whether you're getting ready for the day or cruising through the weekend, Angie B's got your soundtrack, faith, fire, and flavor. Don't miss Mornings with the Queen Angie B every Saturday, 8 to 10 a.m. on City Worship Radio.
Every woman has a room. Every story builds the house. Rooms inside her, an anthology. Rooms Inside Her will be a powerful anthology that explores the deeply personal, yet universally relatable stories of women from all walks of life. Purpose and impact is to celebrate the diverse voices of women and their experiences, regardless of background. Create a community of shared experiences, sparking conversations around identity, womanhood, healing, and triumph. Submission deadline is August 15th, 2025. Submission fee is $250. Send an email to sisterbatten@gmail.com, sisterbatten @gmail.com. Rooms Inside Her. Yep, that's Rooms Inside Her. They did extend the submission deadline, and I want you to get in touch with Sister Batten at her Gmail account. That book, that anthology, just talking about the different issues that women have to go through, the different rooms in their house. It's going to be a beautiful project. And then going back to I've had wives and I've had friends. We women need a handbook to figure out what you men are talking about and what you, what y'all want us to know. So I'm excited to work on that project with Avalon, and we really want men to be open and honest, almost like you were teaching a child or teaching someone that's important to you more information about yourself. How would you express that? And so we're excited. All right, I'm bringing Avalon back in. I've had wives and I've had friends, I tell you. I remember the night I was having a conversation with a man that calls me his friend. And I asked him a question about something Bible-based, Daniel or somebody. We were talking, Solomon and Queen Bathsheba. I think we were talking about the two of them. And he started off his response by saying, listen, I've had wives and I've had friends, and this is what I've learned from each of them. And I wish I could have sat down and taught them more, but this is what I got. And I thought, that's a great title. That's a great reason, a great purpose. So
yes, it would be interested to see what they have to say.
So listen, Brother Shabazz, if you can hang out with us for just a little bit, we want to introduce Lori LaCarl. Lori has just joined us, and we're going to chat with her, and then we're going to bring Dr. Shabazz back in so that they can meet one another and talk. So, Avalon, tell us about Miss Lori.
Lori LaCarl is an author, a self-proclaimed easy peasy peace practitioner, and a woman-centered coach. She is on a mission to promote her peace-centered healing habits every chance she gets through writing, podcasts, and serving her clients both in groups and one-on-one. Heart-centered, intuitive, and fun-loving, Lori has a passion for guiding those seeking grief relief, caregiver relief, and support in loving themselves free from health issues. With her hard-won wisdom and her proven peace-centered healing habits, she's a lifelong teacher, retired teacher, and she's trained in several areas of healing modalities and is working toward additional certifications. Lori is a Jersey girl, a grateful grand, and was a devoted daughter to her aging parents from 2014 to 2025. She lives, she loves, and laughs to the fullest every day. She has a journal and she has some new books out. Gracefully support your aging parents. 5 simple steps for devoted daughters, and it'll be coming out on bookshelves in March.
All
Let's
right.
introduce Lori.
Well, welcome to the show, Miss Lori. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you very much. Lovely to see you both. And you look super comfy, Angie. I don't know if you're with the snow and all the chilly weather that we're having here in Jersey, but if you are, that's spot on.
I said I'm in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, you are?
Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, North Florida ain't accustomed to freezing temperatures. So I said, I'm going to wear this show today. Just because I can.
I told her here in Jersey, we have a nice warm 33 degrees with some light snow.
My goodness, it is cute. Oh, goodness. So, Lori, I know we just heard your bio, but tell us something that's on your heart today. Tell us what's on your mind.
Well, you know what? That's a great question. Thank you. What's been on my heart recently is just the sense more and more that we need to come together in community as often as possible
Mm-hmm.
to uplift each other, to share our gifts, to extend, hope, prayer, light, whatever, because it just seems that without going into much, there's so much going on around us that we
Yes.
don't have control over
Yes.
and can really, really get us down so quickly and
Mm-hmm.
so far down the rabbit hole. And so I know what it feels like to go down the rabbit hole from many tough issues in life. And that's why I really strive to help other people to either not go down the rabbit hole or at least catch themselves early on and come back up. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's part of my divine mission. And I do
Amen.
that through Easy Peasy Peace. That is the core of my business. But through that, I work with grief relief, with caregivers relief, with people going through either serious health challenges or issues, or those wanting to either maintain their well being or improve it. Maybe they don't actually have a health issue, but they've had some concerns, or they just want to be healthier or feel more energetic and alive and youthful. And those are topics that I've lived big time, and that I have, as I like to call it, hard won wisdom. So those are
Mm.
my tops. And I actually can work with anybody who's looking to increase their peace. I have so many tools, or what I call peace center healing habits, that
Mm.
work. They either directly can help with healing, or they open the space up for the person to start to heal. And
Amen.
so I really can help people on any topic, and I'm happy to do that. But right now, I have programs for Rise Above Grief, Caregivers Relief is coming out soon, and these are all one-on-one. And then I'm also offering now Prioritize and Revitalize Your Well-Being, Empower Yourself by Maximizing Your Health. So those are
Mm.
my big ones, but I will do more as I go along. And I'm just loving it. I'm loving the books I'm writing. I'm loving because I just know that they'll help people. You know how it is that, as they say, you turn your mess into a message. And I've had a few big messes, so I've got a few big messages as well. But I can help anybody with anything. So yeah, and I love to do
Wonderful.
so, obviously.
Wonderful.
So tell us
Mm.
about these three new books you have out.
Well, it's funny. Some of them I had ready ages ago, and they all just ended up coming out at once. I had to keep getting after my publisher to get moving. But this is one actually that people can get for free on a Kindle version today and tomorrow. Zen in 5 to 10. Raise your vibe in minutes. Quiet your mind, lift your spirit, and ease into peace. So that's free today and tomorrow. I love this because I picked out the cover. The publisher did the font and whatnot, but I fell in love with this starfish because I feel like the starfish says it all. Talk about relaxing and
Yeah.
peaceful and, and just loving life. So I love that cover. And then grief relief, as you know, I was on your show prior for this grief relief. 3 healing habits for dealing with loss, and that's been out. That's my longest running book at this point. And then I have a journal that came out. Like I said, 3 books came out at the same time, right before Christmas. Easy
Mm.
Peasy Peace, the journal. This has prompts and affirmations and quotes and lots of writing space. And the inside is nice because it has the clouds and whatnot, like the cover does. So the publisher
Mm.
did a really nice job on that. And then the third one I don't have a visual for, but it looks just like the Easy Peasy Peace journal. It's 100 affirmations on
Mm.
peace, and it's sold separately, but it's an accompaniment to the journal, and it's all about peace or related to peace. So yeah, and I like author Avalon mentioned, I have Gracefully Support Your Aging Parents, 5 Simple Steps for Devoted Daughters, which will be out in about 2 months, maybe sooner, but just to be on the safe side, I'll say 2 months. So,
Mm.
yeah. And I've got a lot more. I'm going to write a couple of books about the health stuff, because I really had to speak up a lot, say no to, some of the things that the doctors thought I needed, which I knew I weren't right for me, from my body, and so on. And yeah, so, and there's other things too. I'm going to write more caregiver relief books, and more actually grief relief books too, to be honest. I've got so many, and I keep getting all these divine downloads. Oh, do this, do that, whether it's programs or books or whatever. So I've, let's just say I've got enough to keep me busy for quite a while.
Wonderful, wonderful,
Yes,
wonderful.
yes.
Well, I know Avalon has more questions, but let me do this. I want to put your contact information up on the screen.
Oh, that would be great.
So
Thank
would
you.
you prefer a website or an email? Which one?
Let's do an email, yes, because this way people can get directly to me. And
Okay.
if they decide, now the Zen in 5 to 10 book is the Kindle version is free this weekend. But if somebody decides to buy the Easy Peasy Peace Journal, I'm offering a complimentary monthly journaling circle. So that's why I think it's better to give the email, because then they just need to email me, show me that they've bought the journal, and I'll invite them to the monthly journaling circle, which will be complimentary, of course. So yeah,
Okay.
so it's service@LoriLaCarl.com.
LORILECARL.
No, it's LORI.
LECARL.com.
Right, but the Lori is LORI. I know a lot of people like to spell it with an A.
Okay,
Yep,
look,
perfect.
just
You got it.
I got it. Okay, that's good.
Thank
Got
you
it,
so
got it.
much. That's perfect.
Mhm.
And for anything, if they have any questions or whatever, if they want to get on my email list, they can let me know through that as well. I have a couple of free gifts too. So yeah, I like to give a lot
Okay.
of stuff for free as well, because I just, the whole idea is to just help as many people as possible. So.
All right. Well, we want to introduce you to our first guest for the day, David Shabazz. We're going to bring him in, so that way the two of you can meet, say hi.
Hello.
How are you, David? Nice to see you and meet you.
My pleasure. Likewise. Nice to meet you as well. I was enjoying listening to you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I look forward to hearing what you have to say, for sure.
Right.
Sister Lori, you're working with a publisher. Tell us how that came about.
Well, I've been on her email list for many years, but I wasn't looking to be an author. Not even sure how I ended up on her list, but all of a sudden, when I started having these really serious things, I thought, what I'm doing to help myself can help so many people. And that's what started me on with any kind of idea about writing, because that was definitely not on my radar or even my desire. So I reached out to her, and so she's a writing coach, but she also has a publishing company, and she's just amazing. She offers free writing parties during the week, and lots of paid programs, of course, but she offers a lot of good deals and whatnot, and that's how I got started. So yeah.
Okay, I tell you, some of those email lists, they may not be applicable today.
Exactly.
But if you stay on the list long enough, it may be something that can help you.
Yeah,
that's right.
Maybe something there. All right, Avalon, I didn't mean to step on your toes. Go ahead.
No, I'm just listening and enjoying. But in reading your bio, I know the last time you were here, there was nothing about a podcast. Are you starting a podcast, or you have a podcast now?
I did create it, actually. Yes, it's Zen in 5 to 10. And I'm waiting for the publisher, because he's got to do his piece with it and get it up and running. But yes, I did record it's a 6-series podcast. And then I'll just do other podcasts. The way I was taught how to do them was pre-recording and doing like 6 or maybe 8 at a time, and then just making them all available at once. So yeah, so that will come out, and I'm really looking forward to that.
That's a good idea, because I have fallen in love with the binge concept of a TV show, where it's all It's all there. I just got to keep binge watching.
Exactly.
Yeah. I
Yes,
don't know
that's
how
how
we
I
was.
was.
I don't know
That's
how
right.
we used to wait a week for the next episode to come out. It just so that's a
Well,
great
and this,
idea.
yeah, well, this one's going to be short because it's Zen in 5 to 10, meaning, raise your vibe in 5 to 10 minutes. So the podcast will be short. Not my other ones may not be short like that, but I thought let's stick with the theme and just have them be short as well. So, people are overloaded with information too. So that's why even though I'm a retired teacher and I have the gift of gab, I try to keep it short because, first of all, I just feel like people are so busy. We're so distracted. There's just so much going on in our lives, and there's so much information that I try to just get to the meat of it. What can be most valuable and most helpful and supportive at any given moment, and I try to remember that.
Got to give some shout outs to Dr. Smith Little. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, Doc. It's good to have you join us today. And also got to give a shout out to Pastor Mary Hope over in St. Augustine, Florida. She's saying good morning to me and everybody else. Thank you so much for checking in today. I appreciate our viewers that are on YouTube. Thank you so much. And I am truly grateful that you've joined us on today's episode of Books and Besties. I appreciate that. All right, got a couple of questions that have come through, and I want to be sure I've got them correct. Dr. Shabazz, can you give us some tips on promoting your book? How are you promoting your book?
Well, one of the one of the main ways that I promote is by doing podcasts and doing television and radio interviews like this one. I also make appearances. I go to book festivals, and that's really great to be in person where you can meet the audience and sign autographs. That's really that's just, it just gives you a good special feeling when you're there because to meet those people and some of them have never even read the book before, but they've heard about it and they like the conversation that we have and they end up buying the book. So, I mean, it's just that bonding with the audience, I think, is one of the best ways of selling books. But I also advertise as well. I think it's also important to there's really no such thing as just a pure organic. You just put it out and it's all of a sudden takes off. No, you have to either promote through socials or by advertising like the big major publishing houses do. I mean, so it's not this illusion of things going viral. They don't just happen on its own like that.
Right.
Now, it could, depending on a well-crafted message that you put out. So it's definitely possible. But those are the ways that I promote. I do advertise. I'm on radio and television podcasts and the book festivals, number one.
Yeah.
Go out to festivals.
Yeah. Yeah. I sell more books at book festivals than I do online. So I get it. Yeah. Lori, same question. How are you promoting your books and what advice would you have for someone else?
Well, I have about 3,000 people in my community that are on my email list, and I use Facebook, and I'm exploring other avenues. The writing coach slash publisher just started this month, actually, taking turns promoting the books that come through her publishing company. So that was a new wrinkle. Actually, that just happened this past week, and I was very pleased with the results. So I'll be having her advertise another book for me next month. But, that's a great question. I would love more ideas on it. And the book festivals, I'll have to find out how to get involved with that because that sounds like a whole lot of fun. Like David said, to chat with people. And I'm so excited about the books and all the ways they can help that it would be great to really see people, chat with them face to face.
Yeah. New Jersey have quite a few since we're not far from each
Really?
other. So New Jersey, yeah, look online.
I will
Mm.
check it out. Thank you. It sounds great. It sounds like a lot of fun.
And I have to brag on a friend of mine, Donna Gray Banks. She is celebrating her 15th year of bringing the Fresh Book Festival to Daytona Beach, Florida. It takes place in January. This year is the last weekend of the month. I've got to get myself together because I'm gonna be a vendor. But it is the largest book festival in the state of Florida, and so she has 30 or 40 of us in a gymnasium. It is wonderful networking and selling books too, but there it's a weekend, and so it kicks off with a film festival, basically teaching us how to get our book into a short film or a movie.
Oh, wow.
And we get to watch some movies of people that have done just that. So we've got the film festival on Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday we've got the book festival. And FRESH is an acronym for fiction, romance, erotica, spirituality, and health. So pretty much your books will fall into any of those categories. And the community is good about coming out to support. We've got some schools that will bring their children, and it's just a reunion of sorts, because we've got so many authors that have come year after year after year that you get to see them grow. Every year it seems like they've got a new book or a new film out. And so, yeah, if you search for book festivals, I'm pretty sure you can find one in your area. And when you're ready to get rid of the snow, you can come to Daytona Beach in January.
Sounds fabulous for more reasons than one.
Yep. So you can look up Fresh Book Festivals with a S on the end, .net, Fresh Book Festivals. It's also on Facebook. And I know they're sold out this year, but they open up for registration early. I think she opens it up in June or July for the next January, because it sells out so quickly. And that way we already know who we're going to see. So Avalon's right. Book festivals, they are the way to go. They are the way to go. You're not going to sell a ton of books at a book festival. You're just not. But the people that you meet, it's just going to be absolutely mind-blowing, the relationships that you can build. Yeah,
Definitely.
that works out really, really good. Really good. I cannot believe it is the top of the hour. So we got to put you guys backstage for a minute so we can learn about some more books and events. And we will bring these commercials to you, and then we'll be right back with more Books and Besties, everybody. Mommy, why do I have a cold? Written by Avalon Soulette Brown. Dedications. This book is dedicated to all of my grandchildren. You are always coming to hug and kiss Nana, especially when you have runny noses, sneeze, or cough. Nana loves you. Let's work together to keep the germ population down.
Mommy, where do colds come from? Why do I have one?
Mommy, why do I have a cold? Written by Avalon Soulette Brown. Narrated by Sonia B., Sandra B. Produced for audiobook by NGB Productions. And narrated by me, the Queen Bee, Angie. Living with anxiety and depression can feel like you're drowning. Come join a tribe that will help you press through parenthood and life. Maternal Matters Favored. mmfavored.org. We can help you put the pieces together. Audiobooks, flyers, commercials, and more. Angie B Productions on Facebook. Thrilled to talk about the production of audiobooks. I tell you, there are so many authors that don't even consider offering their book as an audiobook. And you're basically saying that everybody has to understand your written book just because you don't want to provide it in other languages to benefit those that maybe cannot comprehend English as their first language. Dyslexia can cause people to avoid reading a book. So Angie B Productions, we pride ourselves in producing great audiobooks that not only will reach the ears of those that need to hear it, but will also reach the hearts. We've had people that have purchased the audiobook first and then went back and purchased the printed book. It helps to build literacy. And so Angie B Productions is absolutely thrilled to produce audiobooks for you. Just get in touch with us. We'll give you a quote. You can send your information to evangelistangieb@gmail.com, or you can always send a text to 407-914-6519. That's 407-914-6519. And we'll definitely get you a quote. I got one more little video that I want to show you. I know it's early. People aren't even thinking about September, but I'm thinking about Alopecia Awareness Month. I got my hood on because it gets cold up top. But I want to introduce our upcoming event for alopecia awareness. 10th annual Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar Fashion Show. Saturday, September 19th, 2026, at the Hampton Inn, Jacksonville Beach, located at 1515 1st Street North, Jacksonville Beach, Florida. Donation is only $10. Call 407-914-6519 for vendor and admission information. The 10th annual Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar Fashion Show. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't want you to miss the Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar Fashion Show. It is a weekend retreat. It kicks off Friday with the all-white photo shoot. We continue on with Saturday for the fashion show, and now we've added another special event Saturday night. You keep watching Books and Besties every Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, and we will be debuting information right here on the show. So it's time to bring Avalon back on stage. Hey, girl. Hey.
Yeah.
I'm learning
this
so much.
information.
Yes, learning so much. Sister Lori, we're going to bring you back in because we've got another question for you, and then Dr. Shabazz will bring you in as well. Sister Lori, can you talk more about the Zen concept, the Zen concept, and how is that incorporated into your books?
It's a great question. Well, I did some research on what people consider Zen, because I know I had my own idea of it, but I did some research on it, and it pretty much reflected what I was already believing it to be. And that's really just a state where you can accept what's going on, be in a place of peace about it, be open to divine guidance and divine wisdom. And yeah, just coming from a place of peace and getting back there. I mean, that's what my book is about, is, getting back to that when you lose it.
Mm,
How you've been living, how do you get to it? And I like to say piece by piece, PIECE, piece by piece, moment to moment, day by day, because there's a lot of things that take us out of peace, PEACE.
oh, yes.
I feel like, particularly in the times we're living in at the moment, not for nothing, it's just so easy to get knocked out of it. And so it's just really a continuous practice of, what do I want to experience? And like I said, I was gravitating to the Zen-like state. And so that's why I felt I would write the book in that way. So, but basically, it's just about coming from a place of peace and returning to it, accepting what is. We don't have to like it. We don't have to agree with it. And we can do everything in our power to make those changes, and then accept that, we might be limited in an area, but we can always choose how to respond. We can choose whether we let it continue to get us down, or we can choose to uplift ourselves and let go of whatever parts of it we can let go of, even if we can't let go of the whole thing, especially if we're involved in it. So, yeah, so Zen-like state, I would say, is a relaxed state where you're accepting of what is, you're at peace with it, you're open to guidance and to the divine, and you choose to return to it when you've realized that you're not there, or that you're
Mm,
yeah, which believe me, I struggle with it. I don't, say any of this thinking that I'm, a master at it. It's just, I have all these tools that can help people, and sometimes I forget. Sometimes I get stuck in that, whatever it is, disturbing of my peace, and I forget to use my tools too. I mean, so it's a great reminder for everybody, including myself.
wonderful news. Wonderful. We're going to bring back Dr. Shabazz. Hey, glad you're back.
Hey, I'm glad to be back.
I need you both to know how much I appreciate you for being on the show today. It seems like the information that you're sharing is right on time for me, right on time, because for David, there's something near and dear to my heart that I wanted to write about, but I really didn't think it would be well received because it's not something that I've experienced. So just your testimony today has encouraged me. Yes, I'm gonna work on that project. I'm gonna work on that. Even if it's just through my eyes, that should be enough. So thank you for that piece of encouragement.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And Sister Lori, thank you for reminding us that peace of mind is like putting on the oxygen mask first. You still got to take care of you first before you can take care of anybody else.
Yes.
And the best way to do that is to have peace of mind. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's important.
Love being here. Thank you.
That's important. So, Lori, is like part of your teaching, when you're coaching people about grief and losing your peace. I mean, is there a part in there to show them or have them recognize when before it happens, someone that's going to come and cause you to lose your peace, for them to be able to cut it off before it happens?
Wow, that's a great question. That is not a part of it at this moment. It's, but I will definitely do some thinking on that and see what I come up with. I promote how to discover early on, to notice right away when something's heading in a direction that somebody doesn't like, and different things that they can do to head that off and so on. But Yeah, I would say for that, that's just intuition, how tuned in somebody is to their intuition. If they get a sense that, something isn't quite right about the person or the situation or their surroundings. So, I mean, that's off the top of my head, that's what I would say would be the intuition. And,
Mhm.
sometimes we're not so tuned into it or not tuned in quick enough.
Mhm.
It's one thing I've learned over the years to really improve on for myself is, really pay attention because sometimes we get messages in
Yes.
one way or another and we ignore them, and we're not sure,
Yeah.
well, oh, well, that doesn't make sense or, where could that have come from? And I've learned many times over, oh, I'm sorry I didn't listen to that little divine nudge I got or that little
Right.
inkling, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I still make that mistake at times, but I want to think that I'm getting better and better at being tuned in and
Right.
really listening. Yeah.
It is really important to it
Mhm.
is really important to listen to our hearts and our minds and the Holy Spirit. It's
Exactly.
definitely
Yeah.
if we don't do anything else before we get out of bed every morning, we need to listen to what's going on. I
Right.
read a statistic one time that talked about the high levels of heart attacks that happen early in the morning before
Yes.
people even get out of bed because I, I just have to think that if we're not paying attention to what's going on in our bodies before we get out of bed, that sets the tone for our entire day.
Mm,
And yeah, it's amazing. We have to have some peace of mind.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
And like you say, prayer. I mean, prayer helps to keep us tuned in too. I do a lot of that, like you said, before I get out of bed in the morning. I
Mhm.
pray throughout the day. I pray at bedtime. So I do, keep myself prayed up as much as possible and that of my loved ones too. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Because it's work. It's work to keep your mind in an elevated state
Yes.
where
Yes.
you're at that state to uplift your mind like that. It's work sometimes.
Hmm.
Mhm. Mhm. That is great. That is great. So, brother David, what's next for you? What you gonna be working on next?
I can't really go into detail about that project right now, but I am working with a professional wrestler.
Oh,
We're working on a book, and it's going to have some other associated projects with that. I'm not at liberty to say right now, but that's the next step, and I think it's going to be, and it's still relevant to wrestling, but it's a broader scope. It's actually
mm,
looking at um, more of the impact and wrestling in society. I
Mhm.
think I can say that much.
okay, okay,
Yeah. I
good.
had that question in my mind before when you was talking about your book. I was wondering if you knew any of the wrestlers that you had in your book already.
Yes, yes. I've actually interviewed quite a few of them. I've interviewed Mark Henry, uh, worked with Stevie Ray from Harlem Heat. I've interviewed Ron Simmons, who was the first African American world heavyweight champion. I interviewed Ric Flair, who was probably one of the greatest champions around, and because Ric Flair has pretty much wrestled everybody who is anybody, so to talk to him was great within itself. But yeah, I've met quite a few of them.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Lori, what you working on next?
Well, this is something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I'm starting this month is to go around speaking at assisted living facilities. And that I'm going to be speaking about grief relief. And if I get to go back to these places, then I'll widen the scope. But one thing I found with caregiving was there's a huge amount of grief in that. And even after I lost my parents, there was still a lot of grief around the caregiving. So I'm going to focus on grief relief, but also particularly the caregivers' grief.
Mm.
And yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm starting out with the facilities where my parents were and actually where they passed away. It was two different facilities.
Mm.
And then we'll see where it goes from there, but I'm looking forward to that.
That is so
Yeah.
needed. I lost a cousin, and the funeral was yesterday, and the church live streamed it so that I could see. But you know how they ask people to come up and speak for a couple of minutes. These two young ladies came up to the microphone, and I remember thinking, who are these girls? Are these cousins? I couldn't recognize them, but they said that they had been my cousin's caregivers in the facility, the morning shift and the night shift. And as their tears came down, it just broke my heart, because you think they just go in and do a job. But evidently my cousin had really, you know, affected them. And they talked about how she was one of the patients that they loved working with, and how they're going to miss her.
Mm.
And I thought about that. There are people that have loved ones that go through hospice, and they need that grief training that you talk about. And the workers need that as well. And it was just really touching to know that the two of them had such high regard for my cousin. And so I'm happy that you're bringing something to provide them with a little bit of grief relief. Yeah. That was
Your book,
something.
her grief book would kind of align with mine too. You know, the one I wrote about um, guides for nurses to learn how to deal with patient loss.
Hmm. Yeah. That was something that really connected me to you, Avalon, when we first became friends. That you were on the floor when COVID came out as a nurse, and all the people, the patients, and everybody that you had to deal with. That was my question. How do nurses go home and leave that at work? And so I'm happy about your book that you put together that deals with that. That is wonderful.
Yeah, well, my grief relief book is for anybody that's dealing with the loss. But yes,
Yeah.
that is a part of it for sure.
Hmm. Hmm. And I always have to say, it doesn't have to be the loss of a person. It could be the loss of your livelihood. There are
Mhm.
people that I talk to in my mom's in ministry that, have been laid off, or hours were cut back, or just removed, and their whole livelihood has changed, and they need help. And so grief can manifest in many different ways,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it still needs to be managed.
Yes. Well, I tackle that in the book because that was one of the things that happened to me when I had serious health issues. I had to step away from my job, and I always say my job was such a joy, and I
Oh.
stepped away from it. And was just a hot mess with the health stuff for many months. But my boss saved my job for me.
Oh.
And then when around the time that I was supposed to go back, I still wasn't okay, and I couldn't understand it. Anyway, long story short, there was a cancer diagnosis, so I ended up having to tell my boss, I'm not going to be able to come back. And the grief, first of all, the grief just for the months I wasn't going to work was overwhelming, and it did not help me with my healing. I think it just made healing so much tougher for me. And then when I had to give it up completely, that was 3.5 years ago. And I still struggle with it very much. So yeah, that's one of the things I tackle in the book.
Yeah.
Grief is grief, whatever brought it about, whatever sense of loss somebody has, our journeys are individual with the grief, but it can be so deep and really overwhelming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
I don't even think people really think about the grief of people who lose their pets.
Yes,
You
Oh,
know?
exactly.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's still a part of your family.
yes. One of my friends bought my book actually because she had put her pet down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't, the kids, I won't let them get me a pet since. Because I had the dog a long time, a long time. And he was, he was just like that dog that, have in the house. And when he got sick and he passed away, at first it didn't hit me. And then I thought about it maybe a year later and just boo hoo. But
Mhm.
the kids want to get me another pet, and I just won't let them give me another pet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Grief is something that we all have to go through in one way or another, and we all go through it differently. Isn't that something?
Exactly. Yes.
Isn't that something? We all go through it differently. My God. Well, Brother Shabazz, I don't want to keep you. I know you've been with us for quite some time, so if you got to run out of here, I completely understand. I appreciate you for sharing so much of your heart with us. Thank you so much. And
Yes, thank you. I do appreciate being on here, and the podcast has just been excellent and very professional. I really appreciate it, and thank you all for having me on here so much. It's been wonderful.
no problem, no problem. So we'll put you backstage, and if you have to skedaddle, we understand. But if you can stick around just a little bit, we generally try to do something on the show that helps other authors. We really, really try to help them as best we can to learn about self-publishing, finding a publisher, hiring a publisher, and the essentials. And we've got a video called The Necessity of Editing, and we'd like to play that now. So, Lori, we're going to put you backstage as well and have you enjoy this video. And we'll be back with more Books and Besties in just a bit, everybody.
The necessity of editing. Hello, my name is Sonia, and I am a professional content editor. The difference between a proofreader and a content editor, as I have just recently learned, is care. A proofreader, though still respecting the boundaries of punctuation, which are very important, often will not clean up the statements that you have looped together and presented as a periodical. A content editor will read, proofread, punctuate, and clean up your content as necessary. Both are crucial, especially if you are nervous about your English skills. Today, I would like to talk to you a little bit about the necessity of editing. I am the type of person that catches the error before seeing the content. One of my biggest gripes is seeing an error on an obituary. What? Oh my goodness, these are the last words that anyone will ever read about you. Even in grief, spell check still works. I encourage you, write your own final words if you believe that your loved ones will leave grammatical and spelling errors unchecked, but I digress. In this time of artificial intelligence, I have found that our God-given intelligence has disappeared. Grammarly, ChatGPT, and those electronic assistants are convenient as a starter, kind of like a recipe for a dish. However, just like a good cook goes back and ensures they have included everything and even enhances that recipe, a great author still needs to go back over their work and finalize before completion. If you do not want to do that, I implore you to hire someone that will. A fresh eye makes a world of difference. The written word often shapes a picture of the author by the reader. When synonyms are used interchangeably, adverbs are tossed about incorrectly, and punctuation is just doing its own thing, an avid reader will lose interest in the plot and grow tired of making corrections in their head. Some authors happily pay a photographer or even an artist twice as much as the book is being sold for, just to ensure that their headshot catches the eye of the reader. However, their lack of having a second eye proofread and edit their liturgical baby leaves the reader of your masterpiece distracted and missing the point of the story. I will never forget mourning a grandparent. These arrangements of hers were taken over by a distant relative who was believed to be capable of handling this huge responsibility of presenting this decades-old life in a single 5x7 page. The misspellings of names, cities, and even occupations brought new tears to my eyes. Not only were some of these facts able to be easily researched, but the lack of care and concern before this final complimentary life story went to print was appalling. The necessity of editing is clear. I equate reading a book to watching a movie. However, you're able to place it on hold with a bookmark versus a streaming remote. Unlike a movie, the pause is controlled by your reader, not by the electronic device that allots you a full 3 minutes to pause your television stream, then return to the last spot that you were watching. A reader has the opportunity to turn the page or close the chapter, both literally and figuratively. No one wants to wade through a run-on yap session on a paper that left a dangling participle leading into a paragraph that begins, "The nectar day." What? Whose nectar? What day? Just like that, you've lost the attention of your reader. Sure, they may come back only to run into a new scenario that begins with two people speaking without proper identification, properly identified punctuation, and then this turns your reader's moment in time mental escape into a deep pondering chore, i.e., work. The AI assistants care nothing about punctuation. Their job is to lay out their opinion of what you'd like to hear and read, and your plight is to build on it while an editor's delight is to clean it up for the reader. The joy of a content editor is to take your raw thoughts, words, and emotion from babble to brilliance, from wondering to wonderful, from an unfinished read to a page-turning pleasure. Friends and family are excited that you have decided to delve into this new chapter, pun intended, of your life. So criticism about your incorrect usage of your versus your won't be shared with you. However, your audiobook narrator will find themselves starting over and over again, potentially losing that new reader joy that's expressed in their voice. It's gone, and so is the listening. In conclusion, nurture your book as one would anything born from their loins. Create, spell check, give it to your hired content editor. The passing of your book from your eyes to proofer eyes will correct your missings and enhance your musings. I personally care enough to make you sound your very best. I am Sonia B., and I approve this message.
We can help you put the pieces together. Audiobooks, flyers, commercials, and more. Angie B Productions on Facebook. Chosen.
The Lord God with a Master Plan. Dr. Doretha Smith's book has an inspiring message of faith, purpose, and divine guidance through heartfelt reflections and spiritual insight. She reminds readers that God's plan is always perfect, even when life feels uncertain. This book is a call to trust in His timing, follow His directions, and embrace the unique calling He has placed upon your life. With wisdom grounded in Scripture and personal testimony, Dr. Smith empowers you to step boldly into your God-given destiny, knowing you have been divinely chosen for a purpose greater than yourself. Divinely Chosen, the Lord God with the Master Plan, written by Dr. Doretha Smith. Search for Divinely Chosen Lord Master Plan on Amazon. And don't forget to leave a review.
Yes, yes, yes. Leaving a review is so important to authors and other readers alike. I know that when I was learning about Amazon, because they didn't have Amazon when I was a kid, but when I was learning from my children about Amazon, they make it a point to check the review before they purchase something. And whether it be a kitchen item or a dress or whatever, they like the video and the print reviews that they get to read on Amazon. And so we authors need those same kind of reviews. For some reason, people want to know what other people think about something. And that is a really important aspect. So thank you, Dr. Doretha Smith, for reminding us that as we purchase these books, and even as we feel compelled to use products and services, leaving a review is very important. Very, very important. Okay, it is almost time for our next author to join us, and we're going to bring her in just a little bit, but right now we're bringing in Avalon. Avalon,
Yes.
I got a question for Miss Lori, but I'm not sure how to ask her. It just came across my text message, and I don't know. So I think we're going to bring Miss Lori in, and I'm going to ask her this challenging question.
I hope I'm up for it.
Oh my goodness. I saw it and I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. The question is Zen a religion?
Oh, that is a great question.
Yeah. Do you
Well, it
consider
is from Buddhist tradition,
Okay.
but I don't, me personally, I don't see it connected to religion. I just see it connected to basically a choice. I would like to and try to and strive to live this way as much as possible, but it is connected to the Buddhist tradition.
Okay. Okay. Well, phew, thank you. I was trying to figure, should I reword it or no, I'm just going to ask it the way it came. So
Yep,
thank
just
you.
give it to me straight.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we're going to put you backstage again so Avalon can tell us about author Crystal. I hope I'm Crystal. Okay, hope I'm saying her name correctly. Go ahead, Avalon.
Okay. Crystal, her pen name is Crystal Sharif, but she goes by C. Page. She's a small business owner in her hometown. She's been an avid reader since she was a child and told by her fifth grade teacher that she would be a writer one day. She can't remember the name of the book that she wrote at that time, but she do remember it was about a dog that could talk. She
Oh,
started writing many times as an adult, but she never finished a book until recently. Her book, called Two Sides to Every Story, was published in November. The book is about a woman who meets her dream man only to find out her dream man is not who he says he is. The book was inspired by events that happened in her life.
wow. Welcome to the
Yes.
show. Welcome to the show, sweetheart. Welcome to the show. Take yourself off of mute so we
Thank
can
you for
hear you.
having me.
Oh, you're
Mhm.
welcome. Thank you for being here.
Yes, of
Yes,
course.
yes.
I appreciate it.
Sounds like an intriguing book.
Yes. How
Yeah.
did you come across the concept of it?
Um, Honestly, so I when I first started writing it, it wasn't I didn't have like any really um anything in mind of where I was even going with it because when I write, it's like basically the story just I start with maybe one sentence, one paragraph, and then it just flows from there. So I
Mm,
really had no clue where I was going with it because I don't do outlines. I just write from my head. So but as I finished it and I started reading through it and everything, I was like, wow, okay, so this really has a lot to do with you and the things that that I've been through personally. But I wasn't looking at it like that when I was writing it. I was just kind of going with the flow. Um, so the book it's has a lot of drama. Um, Things from jealousy, childhood trauma, um, people ignoring red flags, a lot of things that I do sometimes. so um,
mm,
there's a lot really about just life and love and relationships. Um, and it's really like for my first book, I'm super proud of it. Um, it's getting it out there is a little trying as a self-published author, but I'm hoping that people will start to pick it up, read it, and just see that. Um, I'm hoping, anyways, that my story inspires other people, especially people that have been through a lot in their life, as far as like um, misuse. They People take their kindness for weakness and take advantage of them and things like that.
yes,
So
yes,
I'm hoping that this story, Two Sides to Every Story, will inspire other people.
You have
absolutely.
the book. You have the book
I
with you.
do. I do. I have the book. It looks like this.
Move it over a
So,
little bit.
Two Sides to Every Story. I don't know. I didn't put a picture of myself on there, but that's the back. And that's the front. Looks like that.
That's a thick book. That looks like a
Yeah,
Bible. Look at all them
yeah.
pages in the book.
You have
Yeah,
a lot to tell.
it's like two almost 200 pages, but
Oh,
and I there will be a part two, so
Wow, there's
I
more to tell,
probably
huh?
yeah, I probably could have kept going, but I was like maybe I'll do like a cliffhanger and then I'll do the second part of it.
Mhm.
okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Listen, I want to put your contact information up on the screen. Do you
Okay.
prefer an email or a website?
Email.
Okay, tell me what it is.
It is Page, so Page, the letter
Mhm.
C as in cat. So page C dot company and company spelled out at gmail.com.
Okay, I think I got it. Think I got it. There you are. All right, that's good. That's good. Tell us about the the time it took. How did you so many people think that they're so busy they can't sit down and write a book. How did you find the time to write almost 200 pages?
Um, so it takes time because I feel like I'm I'll write a few things and then I'm off to do something else, and then I'll come back and I'll write some more, and then I'll get on Facebook or something, and then I'll go back to writing. Um, I want to say it took me approximately 6 months to write it, and that was probably with a 2 month break where I wasn't really writing anything because I just sometimes just lose focus. So I think it just depends on the person, and with my schedule, I do have more time to sit down and write. So, if you're a busy person, I think maybe the best thing that you can do is set aside a certain time. Like I'm going to write for an hour today, or I'm going to write for 30 minutes today, whatever works for you, and make sure that you actually do that. If you're dedicated to getting the book finished. And then once I really started getting into what was like, I was getting into my own story, and I'm like, ooh, okay, this is getting ready to happen. And ooh, so it made me want to write even more, and get finished so that it could be published. But yeah, I think it's just kind of how quick the author wants to do it, because some people it takes them longer, some people it won't take them that long at all.
Okay. You've
Yeah.
encouraged me. An hour a day. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can do
And
that.
sometimes it was just like at night in bed, I couldn't go to sleep, so I would just write. And then by the time I was finished, I would be sleeping, and then I would just go straight to sleep. So
All right. With
yeah.
feelings of accomplishment. That's good.
Yes. Yes.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. We want to bring Sister Lori in so that you can meet her.
Okay.
She's our guest from earlier today. Up in
Hello.
You're in New Jersey, right,
Hello.
Lori?
Nice to meet you. Yes, I am.
Nice to meet you too.
And Crystal, where are you based? What city and
I
state?
am in Mansfield, Ohio. Not a lot of people know where Mansfield is, but it's a small town between Cleveland and Columbus, Ohio.
I know exactly where Mansfield is. My best friend
Okay.
in college was raised in Mansfield.
Okay,
The
cool.
last name is Gavand, Givand. And
Okay.
I got a
Yeah, I
chance
don't
to spend some time in Mansfield and Loudonville, Ohio.
yeah, it's not a lot, but it's home, so
Yes, that's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
So,
Now,
Crystal, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Angie.
now, can you tell us about your publishing experience? Are you self-publishing? Did you find a publisher? Tell us about that, Crystal.
so I did self-publish, but I did use a place called Book Fuel that I just basically found online. Um, I hate to say it, but when I do my next book, I'm just gonna self-publish, like actually myself. I have the guidelines. I'm a part of all these different Facebook groups that has advice for you, and how you can go about doing it yourself, because I spent a lot in for me. So I spent a lot to get the book published with Book Fuel, and while they were very helpful, I didn't have to like have all the beta readers and all that different stuff because Book Fuel did that part. Um, but for me, next time I'm just gonna go the self-publishing route unless I can find a traditional publisher. It's a very tricky process for sure. When you're first starting out and you really don't know what you're doing, a lot of people are just excited. I want to get this done and I want to get it out there so people can see it. But I think doing your research first is it's recommended.
Yeah. I talk to brand new authors all the time, and the first thing they want to do is give me an autographed copy of their book. And I tell them, please don't do that. Not that I'm not interested in reading your book, but you paid for that book and you
Right.
need to get that money back. You're
Right.
you're an entrepreneur now. You got to buy wholesale and sell at retail. And you've got to keep track of that. We know you spent good money just to get it in your hands.
Right.
So just send me the PDF, and it's okay if it's not autographed. I know it's from you and came from your heart, but that is a really big aspect of becoming an author, because you're automatically becoming an entrepreneur. You have invested your money from your light bill, your gas bill, your water bill, your phone bill. You invested good money into getting this book published. And so you don't need to just give it away. You really don't need to. If it's going to be for a birthday gift or Christmas gift, that's something different, because you want to invest in yourself in terms of gift giving. But
Right.
just to give something away, no, you're right about that.
Yeah, it's it can be, it's time consuming, so it's taking your your money and value that way, and then plus actual financial dollar bills. So it's a lot.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Avalon. I got more
No,
questions. Go ahead.
no, I see she mentioned about a small business owner. I was curious about her business. What type
Okay.
of business do you have?
I am a daycare provider here in my hometown. It's a small daycare. It's called Lorene's Little Learners Child Care, and it's named after my maternal grandma. So my grandmother, she had maybe 14 or 15 kids, and I don't know how many grandchildren and great grandchildren. But when I was growing up, me and my cousins were always at her house, and she loved kids. So I thought it would be an honor to name the daycare after her. She passed away when I was 16. We were really close. So I named the daycare after her, and I have about 37 kids right now. So I've been doing that for 9 years. Love it, and it gives me the flexibility to do other things. So that's why I said, for me, I have more time to write, because I have staff that are there to help me, so I'm able to do other things. But yeah, it's wonderful. I love it.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
Daycare.
Yes.
We can't get enough of daycare, I tell you.
Yeah.
We can't get enough of them. Kids got to go somewhere,
Right.
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 even if it's just for the hour, so their parents can go home and write.
Right.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah. And speaking of that, Dr. Doretha Smith said that was very good advice, to take some time each day to write. So thank
Okay.
you for sharing
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely.
Yes, no problem at all.
I,
Yeah, it's
I,
just, oh, go
what
ahead.
do you want people to glean from reading your book?
Um, the biggest thing that I want people to just think about when they're reading my book is, and like I said, especially if you've been a person like me in relationships where they may not be the best for you. Um, just look and pay attention to who you're really dealing with. Everything that, the saying, everything that glitters is not gold. And when you get that feeling inside of you, and those red flags pop up, Don't just say, well, it's okay. Maybe it's just a coincidence, or maybe it's this, or maybe it's that. But listen to yourself, and like, just um, don't be so much for someone else that you forget about yourself. And also that it's okay. It's okay to leave, no matter how long you may have been in that situation. It could be 5 months, 5 years. And a lot of times people are like, "Well, I invested so much, and I don't want to let this relationship go because, um, I put so much time into it, so much of my even money just from gifts and all that different stuff, and I don't want to let this relationship go." But you see, this relationship really is not going anywhere. That there's that
Right.
nagging feeling inside of you that
Right.
it's okay to leave and live your life for yourself. So
Mhm.
that's the biggest thing I would like for people to get out of it.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. It puts me in the
Yes,
mindset
yes.
of attending college. You attend college and you're investing your time and your money and your energy, but at a certain point, you need to leave. You need to.
Right. Right.
So maybe that relationship that you've invested was just a learning pad. Don't
Exactly.
don't
Yes.
stay in it just because. Yeah,
Right. Right.
yeah, that is
Yeah, and it,
incredible.
it, it hits more. I think it hits way more people than we realize. And a lot. The other thing is, a lot of people say, "Oh, I feel so dumb, and I feel stupid that I held on for that long." But it's not that you're dumb or that you're stupid. A lot of times, just to put it plainly, you've been tricked. So you thought that someone was a certain type of way, but in the heart that you have, you probably were like, "Oh, I love this person," but that may have never been the person from the beginning. So no, you weren't dumb. No, you're not stupid, and it's okay. Things happen in life, but you don't have to stay somewhere where you're not valued or you're not getting what you need from that person.
Right, right. I
Yeah.
had a divorce attorney tell me that the person you're divorcing is not the person that you married.
Very
So
true.
yeah, yeah. And then you want to contact Lori for information on grief because that's a loss. That's a
Yes, it is.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge
Mm,
loss.
mm,
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
And that's why sometimes people go back.
Yeah, yeah. Trying to fill that gap. Fill
Hmm.
that. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Thank
better
you.
than they'll say it's better than finding somebody new and going through the whole situation again. I may as well just go back to what I was doing.
Hmm.
So you see it a lot.
Sure do. Sure do. Thank you for sharing. Thank
You're
you for
very welcome.
opening and thank you for letting us know about your book. I'm getting text messages from a couple of people that say she'll be getting an email from me.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it sounds wonderful. Lori, do you have any closing comments before we let you go for the day? Anything that we may have missed asking you?
I can't think of anything. I thought it was very thorough, and I tried to give, detailed answers. So I just want to say thank you so much. It's just such a delight to be here, and I thank you. And yeah, I just wanted to say when I was talking before, because I don't want people to think I'm all about the money, because that's just not me. But obviously, I need to make a living too. But when I mentioned that my writing coach had promoted my book this month and I did well, I offered the book for free, like I am today. I wanted to gift your audience also, but I offered the book for free for 3 days when she um, did the promo for my book. So I did well, but I'm not making money on it. But I'm just thrilled to get, the biggest thing is I wrote them to get the information out there and to help people. But yes, it's
Right,
nice to have the
Yeah.
multiple streams of income. But I didn't want people to think that I'm all about the money, because that's not it. So, but
right,
yes, so I hope people will grab the Kindle version of Zen in 5 to 10 either today or tomorrow and let other people know about it. They're short books. I write short books. So I try to make them short and impactful. So and I thank you. It's a delight to be here and to hear everybody else's story. And I wish the other authors and all of you well and peace beyond all understanding for all of us and our loved ones and around the world, around the country and around the world. Peace, peace, peace.
Thank you, Lori. We appreciate you. Thank you for being our guest.
Appreciate you as well. Thank you.
Crystal, thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Do you have any closing thoughts or ideas that you want our audience to know about?
I don't think so. I just want to thank you guys and say it was an honor to be on your show. I really appreciate the opportunity and just thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, dear. You're welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And we'll be in touch. We've got a lot of work to do, and we want to do it together. So we'll be in touch.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, sounds great. It was nice to meet you both.
You too. Thank you for accepting. Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Oh, that was wonderful. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Got some good advice about writing a little bit every day. Got some good advice about processing grief, and got some good advice today about writing about a topic that you may not be physically or mentally into, but something that inspired you. Yeah, that was good. That was good. And then we have Angela that is waiting backstage. Do we have do we have another guest, or maybe she's just hanging out to listen?
Maybe she's just hanging out.
Okay,
I don't have an Angie on my list.
Okay, that's good to know because the show is just about over, and I hope I didn't miss her. But thanks, Avalon, for all you do. You are the best producer I've ever worked with.
Thank you.
I do appreciate you, dear. And if it is the Lord's will, we'll be back with another episode of Books and Besties on a Saturday morning from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be blessed, everybody.
Good night.